AI is moving fast. OpenAI just launched Grove, a program that helps curious people with no startup idea yet become AI founders. Anthropic gave Claude Memory, so teams never have to re-explain projects or lose context. And Alibaba dropped Qwen3 ASR Flash, a transcription model beating Google and OpenAI with record low error rates, even in music. So OpenAI has been busy lately, and they just announced something pretty different from their usual model launches. It's called OpenAI Grove, and it's not your typical startup accelerator. In fact, Grove is specifically built for people who don't even have a business idea yet, but are curious and ambitious enough to want to dive into AI. Think of it as a 5-week crash course mixed with a community launchpad, and the whole thing happens right at OpenAI's headquarters in San Francisco. Now, instead of showing up with a polished pitch deck and a co-founder already lined up, Grove is meant for what OpenAI calls pre-idea individuals. Basically, if you're deeply curious about building an AI, they want you. They're looking for applicants from every discipline: tech, design, business, literally all backgrounds. And they're emphasizing curiosity and ambition over traditional startup experience. The first cohort is small, just around 15 participants, and the deadline to apply is September 24th, 2025. What makes it stand out is the kind of access you get. Participants plug directly into OpenAI's dense talent network. That means co-building sessions with OpenAI researchers, hands-on workshops, and weekly office hours where you're literally talking to their technical leaders. There's mentorship, guidance on shaping your early concepts, and even exposure to OpenAI's newest tools and models before they're released to the public. Once the program wraps up, you can explore raising capital, maybe pursue a role inside OpenAI itself, or even branch out into the broader AI ecosystem. And Grove isn't a one-off idea. It's meant to be the foundation of a long-term community of builders. OpenAI is basically positioning itself not just as the company that makes powerful models, but as a catalyst for the next generation of AI founders. It actually sits alongside 2 other programs they launched earlier this year: Pioneers and OpenAI for Startups. The Pioneers program is all about deploying AI into real-world use cases. Companies team up with OpenAI's research groups to solve problems and expand their capabilities. OpenAI for Startups, on the other hand, is more of a scaling toolkit for founders. It gives them resources like live build hours, where OpenAI engineers literally walk you through demos, plus webinars, case studies, AMAs, and access to code repositories. Founders in that program can also get free API credits, rate limit upgrades, and even invites to exclusive events, but only if they're backed by one of OpenAI's VC partners like Sequoia, A60Z, Thrive Capital, Kleiner Perkins, or Conviction Partners. Grove is different though. It's earlier than all of that. It's where you go when you have the passion, but not yet the plan. Now, while OpenAI is focusing on building the next wave of AI entrepreneurs, Anthropic has been rolling out some big features too. Just a few days ago, they introduced Memory for Teams inside Claude. And it's pretty interesting. Memory in Claude means the AI can now remember your projects, preferences, and work context, so you don't have to keep re-explaining things over and over again. It's optional, with full user control, but the idea is that if you're in a team or enterprise setup, Claude now knows the details of your projects, your clients, your specs, and your priorities, and keeps it all neatly organized. The smart part is that Claude builds separate memories for each project. So if you're planning a product launch while also handling client work, those conversations don't get mixed up. You can literally ask Claude, "What were we working on last week?" and it'll pull up a clean memory summary. That summary is editable, so you can tweak what it remembers or tell it to ignore certain details. And if you want a clean slate, there's also Incognito chat, perfect for sensitive brainstorming or confidential strategy sessions. Incognito mode doesn't save anything to memory or your chat history. This is rolling out to team and enterprise users first, with admins able to disable it if they want. But even regular Claude users get Incognito mode. It's designed with work in mind, so it avoids capturing sensitive personal conversations, and Anthropic's rolling it out in phases to make sure it's safe and effective before going wider. And then over in China, Alibaba's Qwen team is shaking things up in speech recognition. They've unveiled Qwen3 ASR Flash, which is their latest AI transcription model. And the numbers are wild. It's trained on tens of millions of hours of voice data, built on top of their Qwen3 Omni system, and it's designed for accuracy in even tough environments, with complex accents and noisy audio. In tests from August 2025, Qwen3 ASR Flash hit an error rate of just 3.97% on standard Chinese. To put that in perspective, Google DeepMind's Gemini 2.5 Pro scored 8.98%, and OpenAI's GPT-4o Transcribe was way behind at 15.72%. For Chinese accents, the error rate was even lower at 3.48%. In English, it clocked in at 3.81%, again beating Gemini's 7.63% and GPT-4o's 8.45%. But here's where it gets crazy. It can transcribe music. On lyric recognition tasks, it only made errors 4.51% of the time. And in full song tests, it posted 9.96%, while Gemini was at 32.79% and GPT-4o was at a staggering 58.59%. That's a massive gap. The model also brings this new feature called flexible contextual biasing. Instead of making you manually build keyword lists, you can just throw in any background text, maybe a messy mix of documents or notes, and it'll use that to sharpen the results. If the text is irrelevant, it doesn't hurt the performance either. And it's not just about Chinese and English. This single model covers 11 languages, including French, German, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Japanese, Korean, and Arabic. It supports major Chinese dialects like Cantonese, Sichuanese, Minnan, and Wu, while also handling British, American, and regional English accents. It can even detect which language is being spoken and reject non-speech noise like silence or background chatter for a cleaner output. So when you put all this together, you've got OpenAI building a pipeline for the next generation of AI entrepreneurs, Anthropic giving its AI memory to keep teams more productive, and Alibaba dropping a model that might just redefine transcription accuracy worldwide. That's it for now. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you in the next one.